No.
Yes.
All right, we're here.
Yes.
So excited. Oh, Essa, I'm going to make you a co-host. So as people come in, if you could just let them in, that would be awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. So who's excited to be here and who's excited to hear how to land consistent clients using content? Use the chat. Awesome. Tanya's at work.
I acknowledge you, girl. You are rocking it. You are doing all the things and making your vision happen. And that's what this is all about, right? You're here because you have a mission, you have a purpose, you have a vision in the world. So we always like to start we always believe, like our core, we believe everything is energetics and strategy. It's not just a strategy. You'll definitely get that through these next months. It's not just the energetics, because we need to take this into a practical level of like, how do we apply this into our life so that it works? So we're going to be talking about a little bit about both. Did you want to? So energy is important, like as we go through your energy, your participation, like it, all we're collectively all working together. Yes, Eston, I'm actually going to mute you. I super love you.
Yep. And then the other thing is because this is a content training, I want you to pay attention to everything we do, not just to learn, like we're going to teach a bunch of stuff, it's going to be great, but we want you to pay attention to actually how it's being done, because you're going to actually watch and see how we do things. Because when you can see, actually have a, like almost an inception view of like, I'm seeing how they're actually doing this. Why are they telling this story? We'll start asking ourselves questions of like, they're telling this story for a reason. Why are they telling this story? And then we'll come back through the thing, through different days of this challenge, and we'll actually talk about why we told different stories at different times and why. Whoa. So and that's another thing I think we want to check in on is our audio good? Can you hear us okay? Are we loud enough? I'm usually way loud, and then
Can I project my voice? So
no, I want you to be
hear me?
normal volume.
Oh, okay, speak normal, make sure you can hear me too. I am not as loud as Chad. I do my best to project my voice outward and
yes,
better all the time.
So drop in the chat, let us know that you can hear us.
Sound is good.
Sound
Thanks,
is
Jim.
good,
Appreciate
all
that.
the things.
Cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Roxy, great to see you. And thanks, you can see and hear us both. Awesome. So let's go through like, who is this training really for? Like who, we work with a special kind of people, and we attract special kind of people, and not just work with, we just are in the space of just a special kind of person, right? So the impact driven coach, right? Those of who's, let's be authentic, because we're all about authenticity. We're going to talk about this, and I'm totally going to read this because it's really powerful. And, I'm going to be reading and generating at the same time, but I would, in the spirit of authenticity and what we're sharing and integrity of this whole thing, totally going to be reading this. And this is a special type of person, right? Those who've known deep inside from a very young age that you were here for more, and where society has told you that you're crazy and you don't fit in, we're going to tell you that's the whole point. And this is your purpose. And with each, sorry, you messed me up.
Sorry.
And with each client you serve, you're honored that you get to be the much needed light in this world. Quantum impact and evolution is inevitable for us. It's why we're coaches. It's why we're entrepreneurs. It's why making an impact is what we live for. We defy logic and refuse mediocrity, and we believe that energetics and alignment create the groundwork through which we run our business and create our strategies and change the world. Because when you're aligned with your gifts, you show up authentic, self-expressed, and in your power. So get on the edge of your seat and get ready to be fully unleashed into your purpose so that you can build the wealth and abundance and make the contribution that you were here for. We believe that coaches are the driving force of transformation in this world, and we always will be. We are the quantum impact that this world so desperately needs right now. And if you just got shivers like I do every single time I read this, then you're in the right spot today. Because I want you guys to go out there and be super powerful, because I know what you do truly makes a difference. I had the most powerful session with one of our clients this morning. She works in trauma and the mind-body connection. And every time I get to work with a client, I don't have any other words but awe of what it is that you guys do for people. Thank God for you. So thank you. Now I'm out to be a stand for you guys to have all the strategies and everything that you need to go out there and be successful, because that's what the world needs right now. Is that okay with everybody?
Has everybody found the chat? So let's like go to the bottom, the middle. Just tell me you're here, here, and like maybe even like is this resonating with you, and are you aligned to what you're hearing? I just want to get like kind of a hand raise. Awesome.
Yes, yep. I'm here for all of it. Here, awesome. Hearing this resonates. Beautiful, love it. All right, so through this next 5 days, we're gonna go through and we're gonna take step by step and start breaking down creating content, what that looks like, and we'll have a piece of like what's the strategy and then what's the energetics behind the strategy, and then how do you create this so that it actually works for you, because none of us were made to be put in a box, right? So any kind of cookie cutter thing is not going to be effective. So gratefully, Chad and I, we've been in sales and marketing for over 15 years. We've had plenty of experience, know lots of strategies, and understand the design of how people are and how people work so that we can create in alignment, because it's so important. So we're going to break it down. We're going to start with first, when it comes to creating content. Ultimately, the whole idea of having content in the first place is there's really two ways that you can get clients, right? The first way is to, one, get referrals. Like, you're absolutely amazing, your work, you have a client, maybe someone referred you when you first got it started, and then just it was so good they had to tell somebody else, and it was so good they had to tell somebody else, it was so good they had to
Who's getting referrals? Just curious.
And referrals are amazing, right? Because it means that you're doing a great job. So high five if this is you, because it means you're really delivering and doing it's doing amazing. Awesome. Yes. And great, it's doing amazing. What's the second way? The second way is ultimately content, and content can come in a lot of different forms. It's whether you're creating content online, we're going to be talking about specifically social media and creating content online, but it could also be creating content offline, speaking, whatever that looks like. So your two options to get clients are really referrals, creating content. So with that, in order to really create great content, not just content, but content that actually creates clients, right? Because creating great content, having all this following and this big, huge, blah, blah audience is really just ego. Yes. Like, no offense. It's great. High five.
Yeah, there's a lot of influencers out there that have hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of followers that literally they don't make a deep impact. And I believe everybody here is out to make a deep impact, right? Like, you're not here just for surface level stuff. Like, let me know if you're out to make a deep impact with your clients and not just like surface level stuff, right? Like, drop it down into.
Sorry, my hair is all over you.
Are you shutting on me?
Yes.
So
yes, to impact, absolutely.
And there's a lot of influence out there that are freaking broke, and broke is a very challenging place to make a difference in. When you're don't have money and you don't have any resources, you're struggling yourself, it's hard to get out of that like having to think about yourself. And not that you guys are there, or maybe you've ever been there, but it's like, it's much better if you come from a place of abundance. You can just focus on making an impact, just making contribution, just making that difference, and make a ton of money with it too.
We can have it all.
You can have it all. So I want to talk really quick is like Holly said, we've been doing this for a while, and before we had really figured out who we wanted to like really serve in a huge way, we ran an agency, and well, I can sell like crazy, right? Like I can connect with people, and when I used to do door-to-door sales, I used to go.
That is his gift.
Yes, this is my gift, making connections, really quick connections with people, and I could find out what people needed, And then we have the solution. Holly used to build sales funnels for a 7 going to 8-figure business. She's done funnels for Grant Cardone, if you guys know.
Consulted over funnels.
Consulted, yes, consulted over funnels for Grant Cardone. And so she can make funnels, I can sell them. It was a great mix until it wasn't. Because what
Building funnels, I'm really good at, and you guys may discover you can be really good at something, but that's not your gift.
Mhm. And so we found that at the time, our leadership skills were not where they needed, where we could start hiring other people to do the work. And Holly actually became extremely burnt out. And
You know, I don't even think it was the funnels. It was the people, like not even the people per se, but it was like the funnels that we were putting together. Like if I'm really passionate about it, if I'm like, I know that the project I'm working on is making a huge contribution in the world and there's a deep meaning and I really resonate with what's going on, like that copy and everything will just come pouring out. However, we were like working with everybody. We were literally working with knee pain doctors, construction workers, chiropractors, what other one? Hair clinics,
yep, hair clinics.
hair edition, or the house edition. Like we were all over the place, and I am just not passionate about knee pain doctors. It was a really hard project, and so it took a lot of energy out of me to complete. And so we kept getting, we were working with everybody, doing like, oh, what you need a funnel and a system, all right, I got you, let's go. And totally didn't work.
Let's check in here. Who's ever had a client that instead of when you're done with them, they sucked all the energy out of you? Like you, or maybe even in between sessions, you were like literally like you're getting drained instead of getting more energy. Yes, energy vampires, right? So why do we choose to work with all of the people? So we actually went to an event, and it was from Steve Farber, and he said something that just completely changed our life. He said, do what you love in the service of the people that love what you do.
Man, we took that.
And we took it and we ran.
Sure did.
And we took that and we took another, something else that we learned from another mentor of ours. And he said, help the people that your skill set, what you can do, how you can impact people. You do this much little work or this much little effort, and it radically change their life. And so if you can take that and do what you love in the service of people that love what you do, and then you connect that with people that can actually pay you, your business will just blow up. And so who wants to just elevate their business to the next level?
And do what you love in the service of people who love what you do. By the way, that was from Steve Farber. I always want to give credit to where credit is due. It was just super transformational for us. We literally, because of that working with everybody and burnout, we're talking not just burnout of like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I don't want to do this anymore and I'm miserable. No, we took this to a whole other level. I'm a high achiever over here, and I take things to like next level all the time. So we went next level burnout and went straight to like seizures. I had a big seizure actually that lasted about 35-ish minutes. We're not sure what happened, but because it lasted so long, it literally caused trauma in my brain, where I had trauma to where your memories are stored in your brain, and then my frontal lobe as well. I don't know if you want to share that story. He does it much better than I, because he was there more than I was.
Yeah, you were not there. So physically.
Thankfully, I am now, and I've done like years of healing, and thank God, with great lessons. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this is the deal, is I came in to the room, right, come into our bedroom, and she was full on seizure, and it looked like she had been seizing for a while, and I had no clue. So I literally started like dumping CBD in her mouth, electrolytes like help pull you out of seizure sometimes, and like and then doing mouth to mouth. I'm like, so if you think of it's like a mess, right? And giving her mouth to mouth, getting like her to breathe, because I didn't know if she was breathing or not. This was like a new experience for me. And then when she came out of it, she looked at me and she says, "Where am I?" And then she said something that just dropped my stomach. And it just said, she said, "Who are you?" And I like, I was like, what? Like, I didn't, I'm like, what? Like, just completely like dropped, right? And that completely, it scared the shit out of me, right? It scared the complete shit out of me. And I remember coming out of it, we had to like rebuild her from scratch because she didn't know who I was. She didn't know that she had kids. She didn't know where we were living. She didn't know what we did. I basically had to teach her our life and what we do.
And we're sharing this with you because this is our personal journey of how we discovered alignment is so important. So important, right? If you are not in your alignment and you have been called, like that little thing that I wrote and I shared with you guys, if you have been called into this world and you do not follow that calling and you keep ignoring it and fighting it because you don't want to show up fully into being that person, that's what happens. That's God, not every time, but it has a potential. It can rip you up. And alignment and following your purpose and this calling that you have inside of you, it was literally my fire and my passion. And I went through that so that I could really see, like, it was wake up and go. Enough of this, like, oh, I'm gonna run an agency and do funnels for knee doctors. No. And I love that guy. He's a great guy, nothing against him. But it was time for more. So the reason we're sharing this, and I just want to step back for a minute and remember why Chad, when we were sharing these things, everything that we share, I want you to get, like, we're sharing because we're sharing and we want you to get to know us. And there's a purpose and a reason of why we're sharing these particular things and not just like how we met and blah, blah, blah. And I did this and I did this. So I just wanted to step back for a minute and share that. That moment was powerful. And I know that each and every single one of you guys have a story for yourself, and that's why you're coaches. That's why you're entrepreneurs. Like, you are stepping in because you have your own journey and you were able to heal in a really powerful way. Now that you've healed, you can now step up and help other people up that mountain, right? And so as I was healing, and Chad is the most incredible man I've ever met in my entire life, truly, for how he's stood by me and he's supported me and how he's walked through and literally, we're not joking, like rebuilt me. We had something called champion training where every morning we would go and we would have our champion training and I'd have my whole list. And I started, we went the functional route. We were very holistic people, anything that is natural. That's the way that we go. That is the way.
Actually, there's a really funny story I just want to tell. It's like, I had her listening to different personal development, and one of the things was we had her listen to Tony Robbins, and she's like, hey, this guy's great and everything, but it seems like this is for somebody that has things in the way, right? Like all this like baggage and stuff. He's like, I don't have anything in the way. I don't have anything. And it was true because she there was nothing. There was nothing in the way, but there was nothing. And so, but the cool thing is there was also nothing like any unbiases, right? There was no biases to our business. There was no like it has to be this way and like
but last time we did this and
yeah.
blah blah blah.
You don't remember last time.
Not there for me.
No, but yeah, so talk about what came out of that.
Our entire life, right? And I know you can let me know if you agree or if this has happened to you. Like, all of our pains are here for something. I truly believe that everything is redeemable. So literally, as I was healing, I was getting this champion training, gratefully my memories did start coming back as my brain started healing. So I say that on two flip sides, meaning my memories came back and I had to go through a lot of them and heal and go through all of this trauma stuff. And it was insane, truly, but I would not take anything back because while I was healing, and I was starting to I was looking at everything in our business. I just had it like all laid out, like, okay, this is what we did for this client and they got results. Well, this client, they didn't really get results. Was it the same thing? Did they do the same thing? And I started, like, you see those conspiracy boards where you're putting like strings over here, over here, over here. Like, that's just what my brain started to do, and like naturally. And I was like, all right, so this is the way. And literally our entire model of what we do is because of that moment of connecting all of these pieces of what worked, what didn't work, and being able to put it all together very objectively. So that's been like professor status. Yes, like that's literally how we're going to show you this model here in just a minute. That's how this was created, that's just what my brain, it's interesting, the subconscious, that's a whole different training in itself. though.
Yeah, so we want to show you what we came up with and what worked and what did, like what we threw out and what we kept, right? Like who would want to actually see our model and how we think. We're going to go through it really quickly because that's not necessarily what this is about. It's just to show kind of the
The
whole
sphere.
the whole vision of everything, and then we're going to zoom in on how to create the amazing content. Who wants to see it? We just need, so Kim, yes, please. Awesome.
This model has taken many people to
Yeah.
consistent multi-5
And 6
and 6-figure. Wow.
we do.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Awesome. So, oh, and if you're on Facebook or on different places, you can actually get on Zoom. Just shoot me a message and I'll have our team send you the link to get onto Zoom. So I'm going to share this so that I can actually extra camera, share screen. I've never done this on here. I think this should be.
StreamYard's new for us.
StreamYard is new for us.
We say all the time, you don't need a lot of tech. Once in a while, we bring in some extra tech just to, just
Yeah.
to see. We can figure it out and then
Keep
we'll
it
share with
spicy.
you. There you go.
Keep it spicy. So there we go. All right, whiteboard, boom. If you're not seeing the whiteboard on Facebook or wherever you're watching this, you definitely want to
Just hop on the Zoom.
hop on this.
Right, so ultimately, this entire model, it is designed to take you, really six-figure months, up to 7 figures. There's a few more things that we get to add in there, but at least to 6 figures. So we know ultimately that what it is that you're out for is really to have this abundant life, abundance fully, and that includes a few different things, right? Abundance in its entirety is really having freedom in your life, right? Freedom to be able to work when you want, how you want, when do you want to take on clients, what day do you want to be this or that, to be able to have impact, right? We're all here, we've established we are here to make a difference. It's a calling in our life. And also the profit, right? And we don't say income, we say profit, because we don't want to, it makes no good. There is so many people out there screaming, they make all this money, and then more than half, like 80% of it, 90% of it is going straight into ads. They don't share that part of it. And then it is not abundance. So we want you to have freedom, impact, and profit. Right now, the 3 ways to really be able to do that is, first, you got to attract your peeps. So we're going to attract our people online, and we're going to do that a few different ways.
Oh, we can do that way. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it that way. Okay.
Cool.
So the first way is to really have your impact messaging down. So impact messaging is, again, we're going to kind of fly through this. So impact messaging, you're speaking to your clients or your prospects, and you're following your audience in a way that really makes an impact with them. You're creating a community and a culture. You're creating a community of people, like kind of rallying together about what it is that you do. And with that, you're creating transformational content that starts building a relationship with people. Your keyboard is so loud.
I know, right?
So the next piece, you can attract all of the people in the world. However, that's not going to matter unless you can actually enroll them into clients, right? We're not here to be, well, I mean, if you want to be an influencer and have lots of followers, that's all on you. But ultimately, we're here to make a transformation with people and be able to create this abundant life. So to do that, having what we call an evergreen transformational experience for your clients to go through, right? We're going to talk maybe a little bit about that. Ultimately, it's like you can have one-on-one, starting over.
One second.
It's all good.
Hopefully you can see that again. All right.
So evergreen transformation experience is what that is. It's really having a transformational experience for your clients that's not going to burn you out, that you can continually bring clients into. The second piece of the enrollment process is having we call it an empowered client pathway, because we want our clients and our people who are coming on board with us to feel super excited, that like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I can't wait. I'm excited. You want that for your clients too. Right? We don't want it. There's no room for anything else, but in a way that's empowered and feels good on both parties. So the next piece is great. You have all these clients, you have pathway and everything. Now, can we make sure that we actually have success in the coaching and we're delivering it in a way that is really creating the impact, right? Because that matters. There's a lot of people out there that are just putting offers together, and we've been through some programs, right? I'm sure you have too. So now the next piece of this is really this transformation piece. Having the transformation, we are always, like Chad was saying in the beginning, you're gonna go up and you're gonna be at a plateau, and there's like an integration period to go. And then there's gonna be more, and you're gonna move up that mountain and then set up camp here and start integrating that. So in order to have your transformation, the three things that we put here is what we call the 1, 2, 3s, like knowing exactly what you need to do on a daily basis. It's so clear, you have clarity, like this is what you do, this is what, like boom, 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 done. Right? The second piece we're going to talk about quite a bit over these next few days is the alignment, being in alignment with your gifts, who you are, and also recognizing and discovering any blind spots that are holding you back or keeping you small, and being able to release those. And then the third piece is leverage. Leverage is a transformation. A lot of times, if you're used to doing a lot of one-on-one or like talking and networking and shaking hands and all day long, it's time to start putting some systems in place that can help you through the process so that you can start getting ready to scale. So this was entirety. I know we kind of like winged right through that, but I want to make sure that we cover everything. And I really want to honor your time and keep this training to about an hour, possibly an hour and a half, but I'm sticking to an hour if that works for you, because I know the attention span of people and I love you, I'm the same way. So what we're going to really focus on, this is the whole picture in its entirety. What do you got going on there?
I was gonna circle it, but
Oh, I
Just
wanna
keep going.
I just want to keep in flow with you.
Yep. keep going.
Okay, perfect. So this is the whole process in its entirety. Really what we're going to focus on in the next 5 days is this top portion here of the impact messaging, the community, the transformational content.
Cool. Good one. Cool. Keep going.
Yeah, that was awesome. I
Thanks.
think we all got it. But we wanted to just show you the whole model, the whole thing of everything that, creating content is great. Ultimately, we want to have that empowered client pathway set up in a really transformational experience for your clients to go through, and where it's really successful that people are actually getting the experience. We're out to transform ourselves, the coaching industry, and we'd love to, this is what it takes.
Mhm.
All right, so from here, what you got?
I don't know. You're running the show here.
Got it.
Awesome. So who wants to hear exactly, like, what's the first step in creating amazing content? Drop in the comments that you want to, you want to know exactly what that is. Can you make the text black, please?
Possibly. I tell you what, when we go back to it, we definitely will. Actually, can you go back to it now?
Mhm.
I don't know if we can change the text. I think we might have to redo it, but I'll definitely keep in mind next time we do it to make it black so it's more legible for everybody. And I thank you for that. So let's talk about the attract piece, that top piece. We're going to start today with impact messaging, because if you don't have your messaging down, like then the whole content, as we create content throughout this week, it's not going to matter. Because ultimately, when you create content, you want to speak directly to your soul clients. These are the people that resonate with you, these people that make the biggest difference. And so let's break it down into impact messaging and help them discover who, I guess, let me ask you guys, are you guys clear, or all of you guys know exactly who your clients are, like who you work with best? Because I know a lot of times, especially when you have amazing modalities and you can literally work with everybody and transform everybody's life. So it can be really, I totally get it. And it's a really common thing for people to like, I can literally help everyone, and I don't want to choose, or I haven't been able to figure that part out yet. So would that be helpful if we did an exercise to just help you figure out who that ideal client is for you?
Delay.
I think I know my people. Cool. I'd love if you do know your people.
Let us know who that is.
Let us know who that is. The ideal clients found me. Yeah. So if you know them, awesome. So a lot of people know who they are. High five. Let's hear it. I would love to know, who are your people? Because the clearer you are, especially when you're online, though, if you're an offline coach, this is different because you can have a set up shop and everyone can just come in and you can help everybody. Right? But when you're online, there's literally billions of people online. And if-
Coaches.
Yeah, I think, yeah, probably. There are a lot of coaches online, right? So if you try to speak to everybody and keep it broad online, then nobody's going to hear you because it gets really loud online. So when you can be really specific exactly to who we talk to, like when I read that thing in this earlier, like when we started, like I know that you guys have this calling inside of you. Like, how do I know that? Because I know who my audience is. Right? We're not here just to make money. We're like, yeah, money's great. It's awesome. It's going to allow us to make a bigger contribution, but our heart, soul, and like passion is to really help other people. Right? So when you know your audience, you can speak to them really, really clear, and the content and the work that we do is going to be even more powerful. You say the right things, all you got to do is whisper and someone's going to hear you, right? If it's the right thing.
Yeah, and it's the narrower that you can get, the more specific you can get, the more like you can really own that space. The more people that will send you referrals, the more people that will instead of red, black, instead of red, sure.
Yeah, you're there.
Oh, totally.
And thank you. Totally black.
All right, is that better for everyone?
It's actually better. Yeah, actually it is. For me too.
Cool.
So
Okay.
thank you for the suggestion.
All right, so even if you know who your person is, the narrower you can get, the better. So we're going to show you how to narrow. So what I want you to do is really get clear and start with the person that you think that you can help the most, like your perfect client that you have currently, and maybe you can actually define it a little bit clearer, right? So the first thing you want to do is, we talked earlier about the people that.
So I'm reading some of these, and I want to make sure that we make this relevant for everybody that's here. So there's a few things that just caught my attention I want to speak into, because I know you're not the only one. So like, because I totally get it. Like, I know exactly what I was looking for at that time. So now I'm going to attract those who are searching for me. So I totally get that. Sometimes it can be easier to go broad, but to at least like the results that you can bring to people. And if you're creating content that is like not structured in a way that gives an invitation for people to work with you, then they may never know that you're a coach and what it is that you really do for them.
Yeah.
So that's part of this as well, is your messaging of who it's for and what it is you can do. And also, Ashley, first, thank you. I love seeing your face here. So you started off business being super specific, and then that became challenging because you noticed how many other areas of life were benefiting. And I totally get that too. So I've always found that we can umbrella, right? And I don't think it's necessarily like, I only do this thing and then that's all. Oh, well, too bad. If you need this, you can go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
But I have noticed that it makes all the difference when you're specific with people, like the people that you work with. And if I remember correctly, you work more with women, like success, like high vibing women is like, that's when I look at you, I'm like, high vibing woman, does amazing retreats. Like, she's super sweet. I love how you show up. So I think because you work specifically with a certain type of woman, you actually are clear on who your niche is. And then what you do for them is maybe a little bit broader, but I'm sure that you could umbrella this one thing and then everything else falls in between that.
Yeah, and when you can speak to the challenges of your, we'll talk about this. Okay, so we talked.
I just wanted to address that.
Yeah. So we mentioned earlier, like, there's two aspects that we took, like, do what you love in the service love. We'll get that. The other one was, who are the clients that have came to you that you just did one tiny thing. You just did one tiny thing and their whole life transformed magic, right? So Holly just did a call and she said, like, the client that was on the call said that she would have paid $4,000 just for that call because it rocked her world in such a big way, right? Now, not every single one of our clients come to us and say that, but this one did, right? They valued it so high and it was so impactful and so life-changing, right? So it's that leverage, like which one of your clients have came to you, have you, and she just, I mean, you're obviously amazing, you did the call, like you went through all the training to get to that level, and it's like, it was just a normal call for her, right? Like, right? Would you say that it was just like, you've done this 100 times? About 5 of our clients have said this was worth the whole program, just this call, right? So those 5 clients, when you can make that big of an impact in one freaking call and just completely transform their life, those are the people that you really want to work with, because it's going to be like everybody that shows up, it's just going to get magical results. And it's going to make you look like a magician.
Which isn't it? I'm like over here like crying, like.
Right? No. It's real though, because there's the clients that are not ready for you, that you're attempting to work with, that like you have to convince to like to believe the things that you know that you do. There's people that are like, you have to work so hard to get them the results, and there's a difference. If you look at that client, the one that's a struggle and a challenge to get results for, and the one that just shows up and you just be yourself and they transform, there's like a night and day. Like if you really look at this one over here, the one that you make the biggest impact with, if you could speak specifically to them when you're doing your content and they show up consistently, your whole business is going to transform, because we talked about referrals. How do you think you get referrals? It's when you freaking just do one call and you just transform, and it was worth $4, $5, $5, $10,000, that one call, and completely radically shifted their life, right? And there's a difference in the challenges and the way of being and the life of the person that can shift and transform in one call, and the one that won't even show up to calls and are canceling your calls, and you have to like convince them to be there, right? Yeah, it's exhausting. And wouldn't you rather work with the ones that you could just effortlessly make a difference with?
Yeah.
Right? So the next thing is,
and I want to say, when you're speaking to your people, you still are you, right? Again, this is all energetics and stuff, so you're sharing yourself authentically in a way that's to these people and what it is in their world as well.
Yep. So the next one is love. So we have a rule that we won't take on a client that we are unwilling to like hang out with. Like,
we're not taking you to dinner, you're not going in our.
Yeah, if we don't want to spend an hour eating dinner with you, we don't want you in our program, right? And we create boundaries in our life, and sometimes people show up on a call with and I'm like, nope, not the person, right? And there's just, it's like uncoachable, give me all the things, non-integrous. They are just maybe they're out to like really manipulate their clients and not actually make the impact. They're just out for money and they're not really looking for the impact. All of those things, right? Like, I don't want any of them.
Yeah, and at
victim mindset, that's great.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a whole community. We want to make sure that you're vibing with our people and you're vibing with the community, because we have a community that really supports
protect our people.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep.
Right, so you want to make sure these people are like, you really love them. And I'm seeing everyone, motivated women over 45 want to take control of their fear and anxiety of the unknown, so they can step out of their comfort zone. It's awesome. Something happens when I just turned 40. I'm about to be 41, and something happens when you're 40. I'm learning. So I love all of that. And now the third part of this piece is profit. Like, can they actually pay you? Right? Here's the thing. And I know, because we have just the most amazing hearts, and we give and love on everybody, and just here to really make a difference. I know when I started like my coaching, it was back in about 2010. I helped actually run a women's home, And the women that came there, they were either from a very highly abusive situation, or we had a couple that were just very strung out on drugs and going through that whole process. Right? It was a complete nonprofit. I did not get paid for what I did there, and I loved it because it was just part of my heart, right? However, it wasn't a business. So we got to make sure that let's help the people that can pay for our programs so that we create the abundance so we can have those nonprofits and we can help those people that can't pay us.
Yeah, we want to go towards, we had a client that came into our program and she was like worked with the wealthiest people in the world. Like her program was $33,000 for the year, and she made a huge transformation in their life. Now you don't need to work with the wealthiest people, but the cool thing is she was able to make 138K in 6 weeks. Now she took 10% of that and put it, or 20% of that, or 50% of it, or 80%, whatever you want, right? Live on 20% and give 80% to either her nonprofit or another nonprofit that you support. Like, could you imagine the contribution she could make by the revenue that she was generating with her business? So a lot of you are literally struggling in your business because you choose to work with people that don't have any money, and that you're running a nonprofit, and you really need to find people that have money that can afford paying you what you're worth at top dollar, whatever that top your level of like accepting of money is, so that you can get overfloweth of money and give to wherever that you want.
Mhm.
So it's like some of you are spending a ton of time and energy, like giving away all the kittens and not serving people that are actually making money. So it's like how can you shift and focus and work with people that yeah, totally. How can you work with people that actually can afford you so that you can take that money and then contribute it how you need?
Not willing to sell. So I wouldn't want you to either. We're all about authenticity, right? So I was looking at your comment of how do I, so we'll just address that because I want everyone here to get some value.
Mhm.
So I'm a sexologist. I know who my clients are, and they often can't pay me. People who are not my clients are usually conservative and are thus not my clients. I'm not sure what to do. So if your people can't pay you, and I don't want, I love somebody.
They ain't your people.
Well, she doesn't want to sell out. They are her people. So it may be that maybe you run a, nonprofit is another way. It's not necessarily what we do is set up nonprofits, but if that's like, it's like, I'm not selling out, maybe it is a nonprofit, and then you have to go and get funding and do all of those things. The last thing I want anyone to do is sell out for like that goes against everything that we just said.
So this is the thing. There is a corner of the world, right? Like, so if there's 100% of the people, right? So, maybe you can make this impact with 10% of them, right? Then out of that 10%, only 2% of that 10% you would actually love to spend time with, right? And then only 0.5% of that 100% can afford what you're offering, right? What you can offer.
I know you may have some clients here. We got I'd say I'm conservative. I'd hire a sexologist. Same here.
There you go.
I love it. Thank you guys.
So 0.5% of 7 billion people you can make the impact with, you'd love to spend the time with, and they have the money to pay you, right? So what is that, like 100 million people? I think you're good, right? There's enough people. If you even need to narrow it further, like you could narrow it further down to, if there was only 1 million people in the world that you could work with, because you've narrowed it so clearly, 1 million people are plenty of people in the world for you to make a huge impact, to really love what you do and make plenty of money.
And we've worked with a client who he's actually a veteran, and so every few clients
Oh yeah,
have,
that's so great.
yes, I think like every 5 clients he sponsors a veteran into our program. So it could be that maybe you set it up that you can still help those people and still be able to make a profit. Maybe that's an idea for you.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Cool. So hopefully that was helpful for everybody. It's awesome. Yeah, that could totally be a thing. So I know there's some people that were saying, I don't attract people who have any money that can pay me. Let's talk about both sides of this, right? So ultimately, and I believe someone said it too, like, I'm just going to be me and attract my people. Yes, you will. That's the whole point, right? And the more authentically you that you are, because really what matters here, remember, we have the energetics and the strategy together. So it is the energetics over the strategy. I had a whole whiteboard here, but the whiteboard had too much things. So ultimately, here's the quantum impact formula. Quantum impact equals, I don't know, do we maybe want to write it here?
Yeah, sure.
We'll write it on the board here. So this is for I like to take things and bring them into a practical level. So ultimately, do we have this black for?
No.
Make sure we have this legible for everybody. And type it. All right. So ultimately, impact equals energetics. I'm gonna get mathematician on you. Energetics is greater than the energy you put out. Make this a little bit bigger so you can have the full formula. There we go. And you put that over your strategy. Yes, see the clever little formula I created here. I love it. Put that on a t-shirt. So let's talk about what exactly this means and why it's important for content, right? Your energetics, let's say, actually, I'm just curious, when I say energetics, do you guys understand, like, do you know what I mean here? We can break it down just in case. So the energetics, everything is energy, right? You break it down into a molecular structure. We're all energy, and energy never dies. So everything that we do creates this energetic frequency to us. So when we have this energetic frequency of like, I'm frustrated, that's what that energetic frequency then comes out in the content that you're creating. You have this energetic frequency of I'm stressed, I'm tired, I don't want to, I have to, I'm miserable, I'm fearful. All of these things, they all create this frequency that goes out. So everything that you produce in your strategy is a frequency. So we got to make sure that this frequency is a match to who you are, because when it's a match to who you are and your design, then your frequency goes up a lot greater. And when you have a higher frequency, you start, can we call it vibration? Sure, you can call it vibration if you want to, whatever word fits you, by all means, definitely. So when you are a match to that, then you start just naturally attracting those people in, right? So it's all about the energetics. And when we say it's greater than energy, because how, you can keep going and going and going and going and burn yourself to the ground and it doesn't work because you're not actually honoring the way that your energy is meant to flow. Power versus force, literally on my desk right now. Ah, that's amazing. That's so awesome. There's alignment for you. So it's like, you can understand your energy and how you go. Some people are designed to just go, 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 not stop. They're excited. Grant Cardone is probably one of them. Gary Vee is another one. Those guys exhaust me. I am not built that way, right? But when I have my energetics and I'm doing the inner work within me and I'm working on all of the things that like lower frequencies, we're transmuting them, we're doing the work, we're not bypassing them, we're flowing them out and we're releasing them, then the vibration goes up, then boom, we have a higher vibration of people that start working with us. Yep, all about power over force. Ha. Yeah, that's awesome. So, and a lot of time it goes both ways, right? So a lot of people, they talk about this energy and this frequency and the vibration, and it's all energy, all of this stuff, power versus force, great. But then the strategies over here, like, okay, but you need a little bit more than just visualizing, right? Because it is more than just taking having a vision board is great. It brings intention, it shows you what direction you're going, all of the things. However, energy is created through action. And when you have a strategic action plan that is aligned to who you are and it creates those energetics, that's when you really start creating powerful things in your life. So we want to, throughout this next 5 days together, we're going to be talking about the energetics and the strategy on both sides of things. So what we do and how we decipher and what we do with all of this. So I do a lot of work in human design and also soul design. So human design, so you understand how you exert your energy, how you respond, your inner authority, how you make your best decisions. It's really an incredible tool. And then also the soul design, what's your gifts, what's been in the way, even like down to the age of what events have happened in your life that have created this energy. And it could be different things. It could be fear. It could be, let me think of it. What's another one that could, fear is the first one that came. It could be doubt. It could be all sorts of things. We go through things in our life that create these stories in our life. And these stories get imprinted into our energetic field. They don't go away. So what I do in the soul design is I find out what is that thing that we got to get through so that you can be fully aligned and into your most powerful self. So that's the work that I do. And then Chad takes in and brings in the strategy so that we can make sure that the energetics and the strategy is aligned together and that things work.
Yeah, and so I want to bring up one thing just really quick. Somebody mentioned they'll just be themselves, and that's great. Just be 100%, like Holly said, be 100% yourself, and people will show up. And when you can be intentional about speaking to the people that have resources, like this is the thing, is like you have like lower energetical stuff. There might be blocks in you that have some poverty mindset stuff still like in there, and that's going to attract people that don't have money. And there's sometimes it's a lot of times how we're solving or how we're attracting our clients is by solving problems for our potential client. And when you're solving problems that are from people that don't have any money, when you're speaking to the problems that people that have no resources have, then you're going to attract more and more and more of them. When you speak to people that have resources, that have this, then you can attract people that have money. And so it's much better to be intentional. Just intention, I don't care, just one time, just get really clear on who you would ideally like, and then you can just go be yourself. And then just every time you're creating, think of this person and put this person into mind and send the vibrations out, the frequency out to attract that ideal person. And you'll start attracting people that have money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Christo, I love that. Your subconscious mind records everything 24/7, 365 since your birth. Yes, and not only is your subconscious recording it, you have a whole energetic, consider it like a holographic field that is also recording it, and your body is also recording it. So it's also, I'm so excited. I'll just say it here. I'm going for my certification into the somatics part of this so that we can start releasing and rewiring the body from all of these stories and things as well, because it's really powerful when we put this all together. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I just know this is the next way, because your energy and your energetics matter. And if there's something that's holding you back and it's in your body and it's in your subconscious, what do we got to do where we can start creating a plan that is going to shift things for you, not just by like it will vibrationally, but to shift vibrationally, really have this quantum leap, it's going to take working at the energetic level, at the subconscious level, and then at the physical level within your body, and the actions that you take out in the world, and making sure that the strategy that you're applying is really aligned to all of them. So that's really, take it from here. I'm like, that's it. I'm like,
all right,
powerful.
so assignments. Number one assignment is go work on your perfect clients. I know and then go post them in either, if you're in the Coaches for Transformation group, go post it there. If you're in the Backflow group, I guess go post it there. Whichever one you're in. If you're in both, just pick one.
Yeah, and use it as an opportunity. Get your
tag
voice out
us
there.
too. Yeah, tag us too, because we want to hear what you're up to and who you're working with. So that's number one. Number two is, if you are someone that's like, I need help, I need support on not just who this perfect client is, but I need support on all this. I need all of it. Just give me all the things I need. I need guidance, I need support, I need accountability, I need the energetic stuff that Holly was talking about, where I need the session, I need the systems, I need the processes, I need all the things. I need the 1, 2, 3s. What do I do every day? If you want everything, then let's book a call, let's jump on. Again, nothing to sell. We just jump on, we actually see if it's a good fit. Like we said, we don't work with people that are not a good fit. If we can't make an impact with you, yes, you absolutely can get the replay. And Eston, if you want to drop the calendar, yep, there you go. Yeah, you did. Wow, you're on it. Okay, cool. So there's a link in the chat. Go ahead, click that now, because as soon as this ends, it won't be available. So go click that, open it up in a new tab, and pick a time. And then after you pick the time, there's actually questions on the next page. Make sure to answer the questions and then hit submit, or book the calendar, whatever it says, and then message me on Facebook or wherever you're at, and let me know that you booked and what time, and we have some pre-trainings for you to check out before the call.
So also, like, this was the foundations, right? We got to make sure we've got the clear foundations. These next 5 days, you're going to want to make sure that you're, 1:00 p.m. is when we go. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about how to never run out of impactful, compelling content ideas. So I want to make sure that you guys can create content all the time, no matter how you're designed. I'm going to give you some cool ideas to always be able to get new ideas and how to structure that content. So, no worries whatsoever.
Yeah, this is the thing, you had it in your mind, and there's probably going to be a bunch of people that had it in their mind too, and so you just want to be able to and this is something you're going to look back on in one of the days, and you're going to go, ooh, that's why they covered that, right? That's why they talked about it. So go ahead, book the calls, post your perfect client, and we'll see you guys here for the next 4 days. I'm so excited. You do not want to miss everything. And if you stay to the end and complete this whole thing, you're going to get a sweet bonus that we only give to clients. So make sure to stick around to the whole thing.
All right. Appreciate you guys so much. So much love to you. See you in the group, and tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Bye. Click the link. And broadcast.